Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the King's podcast. And today we have somebody who is going to be, it's going to be worse.
Culture,
We lost it.
tradition.
our kids speak English now. So we
Exactly.
have lost language. We are losing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the King's podcast. And today we have somebody who is going to be visiting us for the first time. We have a guest, aka co-host. Her name is Ustoko. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. How is everything? How are you feeling? Emotionally, physically, and every other way.
I'd like to say I'm fine, but
Okay.
I'd rather say I'm blessed to be alive.
Blessed to be alive.
Yeah.
No, that's very good. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even going to talk about which episode this is. We've done so many episodes. I have lost count now. But what is most important is the topics for today.
Alright.
So today we're going to talk about. What are we going to talk about again?
Okay, first off, we're going to talk about historical artifacts in
Yes.
South Africa that have been destroyed.
Yes, a lot of destruction is happening to our heritage and the artifacts that are valuable to our culture and
And our
diversity.
history.
Yes.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
for example, the City Hall.
City Hall, Pretoria.
Pretoria City
Yes,
Hall.
yes.
Most of the statues that were out there
That
were
they've been
destroyed.
destroyed. I don't even know where City Hall is. I know there's this place next to Salvakop.
Yeah?
Is it there?
No, that's what is it called? Freedom
Yeah, Freedom Park.
Freedom Park.
Okay, where's City Hall?
City Hall is just in front of Bosman,
Yeah, I see.
opposite the
Yo, that building.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't look good right now.
At
It doesn't
all.
look good.
And most of the
Wow.
statues were removed because I feel as Black Africans we have destroyed what made us who we are today.
Yes.
I
The
mean-
things we inherited, they're no longer in great condition.
I wouldn't say exactly inherited. Like, for example, if you look at Germany,
Yes.
Germany has kept most of its Nazi history, historical
Intact.
artifacts intact.
Intact, yes. I've heard about that.
This is for future generations to warn
Yeah.
them against past behavior.
Yes.
This is for future generations to let them know how far
Yes.
they've come in their...
Yes.
They are
It educates
independent.
the new generation, yes.
Exactly.
About who they are and where they come from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I mean, okay, yes, I understand the whites. Okay, let's not say the whites.
Yes.
Let's say apartheid times.
Yes.
It was quite intense on us black people.
For sure.
Yet, do we not need those Paul Krugers to remind us of who we are
Yes. So we shouldn't forget where we come from, the struggles we had. And also, it's part of our history. There's no way we can wipe that out.
today?
So we
Exactly,
should
and they
keep
made South Africa what
memory
South
of that.
Africa is today.
Yes.
Yet we are
Most
focused
definitely.
so much on ruling.
Yeah.
That we
And
are-
wiping out the street names, for example. I don't even know what else we are destroying just by being negligent and not caring about our history.
And it's money, mind you.
Yes.
First of all, to destroy these things.
Yes. There is, for example, now we are right here, we're in Pretoria.
Yeah.
There is Joburg, the gallery.
Yes.
The gallery, yeah, I've been so disappointed to see that
They-
going to ruins, water leaking everywhere.
Which is ridiculous,
Yes,
right? What are we
yes,
trying
yes.
to say about the new legacy that we're building?
Yeah,
I
most
mean, if
definitely.
your child were to grow up now in current South Africa,
Yes.
what historical artifact
Yes,
can they point to?
Yeah, it's gonna be little.
Except
like-
for Statue Samandela.
Yeah, and that's not even historical. That's something new.
Thank you.
That's something new.
So-
No, I think we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. we are already deep. We are already deep in this topic, and I'm also being, urged to talk more about it. So first, we're gonna talk about the destroying. As you can see, it's a broad topic, destroying of historical artifacts. We're gonna also talk about the role of women in modern history or current generation, our generation, because the roles that women are playing are very much financial and positions of power more than men in terms of providing. For me, I'm more focused or concerned about the provision, because it looks like when I grew up, my mother was providing. Now, many women of my age that I know, they are providing. Then the third topic that we'll touch on is the standards of beauty in modern history or modern
Society.
culture, modern pop culture, television, social media. So those are the three things that we're gonna talk about. So let's continue with this historical artifacts thing, because it's very interesting, and we only just on the tip of the iceberg for now. There's so much to talk about on this topic. So in terms of how for you, why it matters, why does it matter that we keep this legacy and the artifacts intact, for our generation and for our kids? Why does it matter to you?
Okay, personally,
Yes.
this is a personal
No. Yes.
opinion. Nah?
Yes.
If you look at all other cultures,
Yes.
we go to England, for example.
Yeah. Europe, and
yeah.
other nations. Yes.
They have very, okay, for sake of conversation, I'm
Yes.
gonna use the word a deep belief in ancestry.
Of course. Yes.
You go to China.
Yeah.
They believe in their ancestry.
Yes.
You go like almost everywhere around the world. Everyone is deeply rooted
In their own
in
heritage and
yes,
ancestry,
in their ancestral
traditions, their
tradition.
traditions.
In whatever their ancestors had to fight
Yes.
to get to where they are.
They keep
today.
that preserved.
And does that not bring pride in a people?
It does. Look at Scotland, for example. They are so deep into their regalia, their music,
Exactly.
their castles, for example, their castles.
And they
Yes.
still have them intact.
Yes,
They
like
even have people who
maintained.
come back and they refurbish them.
Yeah, maintained in tip-top condition.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now we had statues.
Yeah.
For example.
Yes.
Yes, I do agree that it was statues of previous oppressors.
Yes. Yeah. To glorify what they did, or who their leaders were.
Is it really to glorify?
To celebrate, let's say, maybe to celebrate, or
To mark
to
their
preserve
achievements.
their history.
You understand
Yes,
what
it's
I'm
not really
saying?
to celebrate, because during those times that was their reality. So I agree, that was their reality. So they, by having statues, monuments, memories, they are preserving and keeping memory of who they are.
Who they are.
It doesn't really matter how others feel about it.
Exactly. It's still a part of history.
Their history. Yes.
Now, did it not take those same monuments or those same statues to bring us as black people into the current position that we are?
Yes. Yes. It motivated us to want to fight for our freedom. So why do you want
Why
now
would
to
you want to
erase,
destroy that?
destroy that and erase?
You understand?
Yes,
It's not like
yes.
they're destroying the Robben Islands.
land.
Why? Is it just because of Mandela?
Mandela.
We
Yeah.
have, okay, the Okovango caves.
Yes.
We have places like Mapungubwe.
Okay. Yes. In the north.
In
Yes.
the north.
Yes.
In KZN, we've got the
We
original.
want to keep those, but the other part of history, or 80% of the history,
We want to wipe out.
No, I hear you. I hear
Which
you.
makes the current people not value what we have.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, are you trying to tell me that the white people, who, by the way, used black people to build those same monuments, were smarter than the black people that currently live?
No, they're not.
But had we put pride or focus on the fact that we've got these artifacts,
Yes.
look at the Fort Trekker Monument.
Yes.
I've
never been there, by the way.
I've never been inside.
Yeah, but you've been
I've
in the
driven
property.
past it.
Yes.
But that place I've been living in Pretoria for 30 years now.
That place has been in top condition
For 30 years.
for years. Yeah. Even maybe before that, it's been like that for.
You
for
understand?
Many years. Yes.
But then how does it reflect on black people when we can't keep something as simple as City Hall?
Yeah,
In
most
tip-top position.
definitely. For example, there is what is this Rivonia trial? Rivonia trial. We should
Yeah.
that should be our pride, and we should keep the court or the building where that happened
You
as
intact.
yeah. But where is it now? I don't even know, because I don't think we've been taught of the geographical location of
No.
that building. We just
But
know
we know that there was a Rivonia trial.
Yeah,
You understand?
but where is it now? Where can we go and be reminded and be proud?
But I'm sure if you go to that building, it's dilapidated.
Most definitely.
Who does
Most
that look
definitely.
bad on?
Yeah, on us. It
On
reflects.
us.
It reflects,
on us as black people.
Yes.
They have renamed streets, which till today I don't understand.
Yeah. 80% of streets are renamed.
The same streets cannot be fixed with potholes. What
Yeah,
does that
yeah,
say?
yeah.
So we are so quick to destroy
Yes.
our history that made us who we are. We are very proud of fighting apartheid in a very peaceful way, yet the results from fighting that apartheid, and personally I think that's why we've got people building bridges that fall,
Yes.
because you were not ever taught pride,
Yes. Being proud of your heritage or your achievements.
capabilities.
Yes. The things that you have built.
You understand?
yes.
If we had the same pride, or if pride was instilled in us for building things like the Mandela Bridge,
Yes.
which, mind you, is still standing.
Yes.
The credit was given to some white company
Yeah.
or some white
Construction.
man. But who did the actual work?
Yeah. Our people, our students, people who just graduated back then in construction.
Some of them didn't
building
even
structure,
graduate. It
But
was
they're just
literally-
talented.
You understand?
Talented
Being
Africans
told what to do.
Yes.
So had they been pride in that?
Yeah, even if it's something for the glorification of the nation, we should come together and preserve that, for example.
Thank you.
Yes.
And that would make our future generations, I've got kids,
Yes.
I would like them not to develop a hate for white
For
people.
white people.
Yet I would like them to understand that, okay, even though the whites were ruling at that time, there was a lot
That our people or our parents, grandparents did.
that they contribute. Thank you.
Yes.
They contributed a lot to that.
Yes.
But history as well tends to become one-sided. And I think
Yes.
that's why our government
Yes.
has been destroying our things.
Yes. And I think we're also going at each other because maybe we're not having a conversation. Maybe we are not having dialogue between the Europeans who are here and our own leaders. Maybe there's no dialogue to make each other understand. I would say, for example, that we don't have the money. Let's say, for example, the Joburg Art Gallery.
Yes.
Black people, we were never raised to love art.
Thank you.
Or images or pictures or paintings. But white people, so we have a contrast between them and us. For them, they value artifacts, they value paintings, and then they would keep that thing in tip-top condition. But for us, we want to have new building in Sandton, but we don't want to keep the memory of our paintings.
I go back to pride.
Yes, so we don't have
pride.
we're not proud to
We're not proud.
of our artists who've created those things.
Or our heritage.
Yes.
I mean, look at now we've got minerals that are leaving the country
Yes.
to be brought back to
Back to-
us and sold as jewelry.
Yeah, but why is that though? Why for all these years? Because I know grandparents, I know uncles who've been miners working in the mine for years and years. And why have we not, in the past 50, 60 years, developed something of our own that, replaces this process of shipping minerals out? And what do you think we have not been able? Because I don't think we are inferior in terms of intelligence.
No, not
Why
at all.
have we not created something that keeps those metals and those minerals here and beneficiated here, processed and transformed here? Why have we not done that?
Okay, I think greed
Yes.
amongst ourselves
Okay.
as people.
Okay.
That would be
Yeah.
my number one answer.
Yes.
And then the other day I was reading a book where F.W. de Klerk said
Yes.
apartheid was not created for then. It was created
Good.
for now, meaning the future.
Okay.
You
They had the
understand?
future in mind. It was not like for the
Yeah.
next.
They were not separating us for then.
Okay.
They were separating us for the time when we actually got to be leaders,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll still be divided.
So
We
now
would
we've
still
got
be
things like
separated.
tribalism.
Yes.
Mapungubwe took out the most skilled jewelers
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
world, and I'm telling you about people who didn't need machines,
They were just naturally talented.
blacksmiths or whatever, goldsmiths. I don't know
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
call them.
yeah.
They were artisans in their own right.
Yeah. So
So
they
greed came
created
in.
those images based on what they know or their surroundings, and they created those things.
Exactly.
And they were practical. Some of those things, they were very practical.
Extremely practical, because
yeah.
that's why the Chinese, like if you go back into history,
Yes.
we were trading long.
Yeah, in Africa with the
Before
mansa,
we-
musas, and all the African
The
leaders.
Chinese,
Yes.
they came and they gave us the jade pieces,
Okay.
and we gave them gold.
Okay.
Because we had
Yes.
an abundance.
Abundance of
You
that. Yeah.
understand?
Yes.
They came in with beads. Can you
Yes.
imagine? Beads.
Yeah.
Beads. And because
Yeah.
we had such an abundance, we gave
we
them
gave
what
like
we
yeah,
had.
we had a lot of gold. We had a lot of gold.
Fast forward, history happens. And then what happens? They invade us.
Yeah.
We are told we are separate as black
Tribalism,
people.
yes.
Tribalism, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just a focus on where we are different.
Yes.
Your language is this, my language,
Language
is
is that.
this.
But we are all Bantu. We are all Africans.
You
At the end of
understand?
the day.
At the end of the
Yes.
day.
Yes.
And then what happens if we are separate? If you and I are not thinking on the same page,
Yes.
I will look out for my own interests.
Of course.
So
yeah.
you give me a tender to build a house.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the money I can put in my pocket.
Good, yeah.
I'm not thinking of the people who are going to live
Yes.
in those houses.
Most definitely. Yeah, you think about yourself first before you actually execute whatever the
Thank you.
tender requires.
Then in
Yes.
comes in separatism.
Yes. So I would have another question in terms of we're destroying our own history. We are not proud of the things we have contributed to building, and also we are divided.
Yes.
Because of the heritage of apartheid and the division between the different tribes. So what is the future now? How does the future look going forward as a people? What are we going to look like in the next 40 years or the next generation? What do you think is going to look like if we are still scrambled amongst each other? We are not, we rather associate with other whites or other foreign, people, and not collaborate amongst each other. Why? I mean, what do you think the future looks like from now in the future for us?
Honestly, I believe that the future looks worse than colonialism did.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. You're not very optimistic about the future right now,
Not at all.
judging by what we are doing right now.
Okay, honestly speaking, I don't see my generation becoming good grandparents.
Yeah.
And
We can't match what our grandparents.
what our
yeah.
grandparents taught us.
Yeah. So definitely it's gonna be worse.
Culture,
We lost it.
tradition.
Our kids speak English now, so we
Exactly.
have lost language. We are losing traditions, dancing. What else? Spirituality, the things that make us.
That make us who we are. The things that all other countries seem to be focused on.
Yes.
Like if you go to, what is this place? Sweden or the North.
Yes.
They are so involved in their history.
Yes.
Be it whether they believe in Jesus Christ or whatever, but
Yes.
you still have wood nymphs.
Yes.
You still have people doing their prayers to the ocean, and
Yes, they still follow their own spiritual, beliefs.
exactly,
Yeah,
which
and
might
those
come across as pagan.
rituals. Yes.
But you look at
Is their-
the generations they
Is their
brought out.
tradition? Is where they it's what they come from. It what makes them who they are.
It's
Yes.
the same architects we call over here
Yes.
to build for us.
Yes. Yes.
But
Most
why?
definitely.
Well, what makes them different from us? The fact
Yeah.
that they've got pride.
Yes.
Now we are growing from a generation post-apartheid
Yes.
where we want to do everything different from our parents.
Yes.
We are fighting a war that personally, except for one or two few people growing up,
Yes.
I've never experienced apartheid.
But, yeah, of course. Even myself. Yeah.
But we're still so focused on that.
Yes. Most definitely, we are
We are so-
conditioned. We are
exactly,
conditioned to.
So you have people
Yeah.
who go to varsity.
Andy, okay, we can continue. You can press red a button and on and again. Again. Good. Go to the other one and do the same. Yeah, no, let's this one is on. We can continue.
Okay.
So you can carry on from your point as because the recording was still going on. I'll edit this part.
Okay.
So you were talking about the practices in Sweden of their own culture, their own religion, and then we also import those things into here, bring them into.
But we're importing the wrong things.
Yeah, yeah.
Those people, like architects, they have got pride because they are castles
Yes.
that are still standing
Yes.
today.
Yes.
You can be shown that someone in 1960 what
Yeah.
built this and
Yes.
is still standing
It's still
today.
standing in great condition.
You are just called in to touch up.
Yes.
Are those people not taught pride?
Yes. Yeah, and they are proud also because they see that we are replicating
Exactly what has already been done.
Yeah, we are bringing them here. We are inspired by that, and we are losing ours.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are losing ours.
You were speaking about art
Yes.
earlier on.
The paintings
The
and
paintings and
sculptures. Yes.
You have people like Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
Name one African. Not even South African.
Prominent artist. Yeah.
Yet we've got cave drawings.
Yeah.
We've got
We have
Ndebele huts,
neglected those cave drawings. Yes.
Exactly, because we've been so obsessed with matching what the white man showed us.
Yeah. We
forgot.
celebrate those.
Exactly.
We celebrate
You
them.
can't really blame us because of the education system.
Yes, we've been conditioned to aspire to European standards.
Exactly.
Yes,
And
yes.
once a person loses pride in themselves,
Yes.
there's nothing much that they can do to be
Yeah,
proud
most
of.
definitely. It needs. I don't really know what we need, like to correct the course that we are on. What do we need to? Because I think it's not looking good. Like for our kids, it's not looking good at all. It's not looking good.
I would say an education overhaul.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard that point of view before, but how do we do that? How do we overhaul what we've been taught, and our teachers have been trained a certain way?
Let's start introducing more subjects
Okay.
that are more relative to us.
Practical. You can answer it.
More
Yes.
practical and more...
Hello,
Yes.
Okay, must wait for him.
I'm fine.
Yes.
More relative to what we are doing or to our culture.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Because the economic factors, we back in the day,
We've been fine.
Africans-
We've been fine.
Yeah, we were known for
so-
barter trading.
Yes.
Which
and
worked
we
for us.
we had wealth.
Yes.
So I think we need to center back to our culture, our being,
And how things
the
were
economic part. The economic part, we have always had that. That's what
have.
you're saying.
Yes, we were
Yes.
just told that the system we're using is outdated.
Yes.
But if you look, like they were kings and they were queens
Yes.
who started a lot of things, like the abacus
Yes.
was created in Africa. The first
Okay.
university
Yes, it
in
was
the
here.
world was here.
Where was that? In
In
Egypt.
Timbuktu,
Where is Timbuktu? Not Dar es Salaam.
Mali.
Mali.
Around Mali.
Yeah, Mali was one of the richest or wealthiest nations.
Exactly. They had a
Yes.
king called Musa.
Yeah, Mansa Musa. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Who traveled the world. He was the first traveler, actually, the first man to move.
With goods and
Yes,
and
on
his
the
gold and
ocean.
his wealth. Yes.
He was the first to discover America. I don't know how you discover something that's already been there.
So which means he had ships and technology to travel.
He had the intelligence
Yes.
to create those ships.
Yeah.
The intelligence to navigate those seas.
Yeah.
And
So that's why the university came from there, because we had the knowledge.
we had the knowledge. We
Yeah.
had great teachers. And then we had
Yes.
people like Socrates
Yes.
coming down here.
Yes.
Lao Tzu, who wrote about guerrilla war, the art of war.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sun Tzu. Is it Sun Tzu? Yeah, the out of war is Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu, not
Yeah.
Lao Tzu, ne? Yeah.
Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu. But then, do you know that those tactics he got from African?
From Africa. Okay,
Yes.
African battles and African.
Shaka Zulu was one of the main
Of course.
contributors.
And they make him look like he's primitive.
You understand the whole thing of guerrilla war tactics.
Yes.
Do you know why they called it guerrilla?
Gorilla. Okay, why?
Because remember, us black
They look
people
at us
are
like
associated to.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, if even today in armies, and I'm talking about big armies,
Yes.
they're using the same concept
Yes.
of guerrilla war tactics.
Yes. Wow.
You-
I never thought of that. I
you
never knew. I
understand?
never knew that they took that from us. Yeah, but now they make us look like we don't know what we are doing, or we are inferior to them. So they've planted that within us. The inferiority complex.
Yet we
don't
carry
think
it.
we don't think we can do this.
We carry it. We've been
yes.
out of apartheid for how many years?
Yeah, it's been 30 years now.
As black people, if information is out there, is it not upon ourselves
Yes.
then to educate ourselves?
Most definitely.
We can only for so long
Yeah.
blame the other people
the past. We can't keep on blaming the past forever.
because we're living in the present now.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the destruction of historical artifacts
Yes.
has actually left South Africa lacking
It's leaving us devastated, and
of a history.
it's robbing us. It's robbing us from
Extremely.
knowing who we are, and you can't move forward.
Extremely.
If you don't know who you are, where you come from.
Honestly speaking, now, if you look at black history in South Africa at the current point,
Yes.
we go as far as Mandela.
Yeah.
That is not a
1652,
legacy I
and
would
there are
like to
gaps.
look-
There are gaps in between.
Thank you.
There are gaps. So we
Huge
go
gaps.
back to 1652, and our history is channeled to ANC.
Thank you.
1902?
Yeah,
1902 coming
up.
Yeah, that's what we know.
You are told about the Xhosa Nongqawuze who allowed the whites to just come in and she burnt her things, but you're not
Yes.
told about the people who fought
Yes.
before they were
Yeah,
allowed
we
to
don't
come in.
we don't hear about those. We are limited in terms of what's been taught.
You understand?
Yeah,
You
I
are
think
taught
it's
that
structured.
Shaka-
It's structured.
It is. It's brainwashed to
They've
keep us
structured
where
this.
we are.
They've structured this.
You have the vendors
Yes.
who, like, if you go into their history,
The
and you
Mercado,
like-
yeah, the king Mercado, and them. Then yes,
those people were operating before we had doctors.
Yes, they
Before
had
we had
dynasties.
surgeons.
They had dynasties and kingdoms, but we are not taught those things. I'm Venda, but I don't even know beyond.
the things,
I
right?
only know I only know the Bantustan, which is the Venda, Boputatswana, the Gaza history. Anything beyond the Transkei, Ciskei history, I don't know. We have not been taught. We've been taught the government of Transkei, Ciskei, Gaza. Anything beyond or before that,
You are
I
not taught.
can't tell you. I can't even tell my kids.
Thank
I
you.
can't even tell me. So that robs us from participating as proud people into our own
Or even
our
passing
own unit.
on.
Yeah, you can't pass on what you don't have. So
Exactly.
it's definitely robbing us. So I want us to divert and move into now the standards of beauty, because in modern history, modern generation, that links with what we are losing. We are losing the artifacts or the arts, the paintings, the statues, things that
made us
that
who we
define
are.
us, things that define us, and also the beauty now. Talking about both men and women, talking about both men and women, the standards of beauty, what defines what a good looking man is, what a good looking woman is totally different. Now you can look at my skin, that this is something that will be defined as good looking.
Yes.
But now we've been dark. Babe, I'm sure my ancestors were darker than me. I'm sure my mother, she looks in terms of definition not modern, not good looking, but
Yes.
then the offspring look better and better. Now we are changing.
We say they look better.
Yeah.
Okay, can
Because
I ask
we've
you a
been taught.
personal
We've been
question?
taught. Yes.
What is your definition of a beautiful woman? I'm talking looks.
Right now. Right
Let's
now.
be very superficial.
Yes. Beautiful woman, of course. I'm gonna start with the complexion.
Yeah.
Yellow bone.
Oh, okay.
that's now currently the way I see. If I'm to see two females in front of
Yeah.
me, obviously I'm conditioned, or ever since I was young,
Yeah.
we've always said, hey, that girl is beautiful. Hey, Olamzana Onaka, hey, she's beautiful. Based on
their
the complexion. First
Okay.
is the complexion. Then the other thing, In Venda, in where I grew up, we're not that tall. So the height in other areas, the height will say, "Oh, Rio, she's sexy." That
Based
will,
on how tall she is.
how tall she is.
Okay.
So, but in my area where I come from, that was never the factor. So it was firstly the complexion. So they always put down people whose complexions were darker in shade. So and then the body.
Yeah.
The body now we define big bums. We define what else? Yeah, I think those two things, they, in my own opinion, it looks like, yeah, that's beauty. Like a beautiful woman, I would say she's light skinned, thick body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thick.
Where does that come from? I don't know. I was just conditioned that way to look at those two things and think, "Uri," yeah. And if I see any other thing, I would look at it as inferior from
From what you
yeah.
see.
And the hair, I forgot the hair.
That's where I wanted you to come
Yeah, I
to.
forgot the hair. Obviously, if I look at short hair and then I look at long hair on the other side, shiny, silky, flowing, when the wind blows, it blows with it. I define that as beautiful. But if I see chiskop, short hair, locks, I'm going to look at it like, oh, this is not the beauty standard that I know.
So
Yeah.
basically, you're saying that beauty today
Yeah.
is standardized by how good you look. Like
Yes,
when I say you
yes.
look, I mean in terms of makeup.
Makeup? Yes.
We've got black hair. Our hair doesn't move with the wind.
It doesn't.
So, yeah, I mean,
African hair
fake hair.
has never done that, yes.
Fake hair.
Fake hair defines beauty right now. The,
Makeup.
the first thing, if I look at my child right now and I see short hair, and I'm thinking, I can't wait until she can relax the hair.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, relax the hair. So I think that's what I define as beauty. And I can't help it because that's how I grew up. And our kids are
following in
they
that
are
pattern.
following.
Okay, personally, I grew up as a tomboy.
Okay. I never knew that, eh? And I know you for some years now, but I never knew you grew up as a tomboy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I still feel that there's that element in me.
Yes.
I will do makeup,
Yes.
but
We're still busy.
there's someone outside.
Yes. I think we can take a break.
Yes, please.
We can take a break and
We'll come back.
continue. Andy, tell them I'm coming.
They're coming. They are coming.
We can, sorry. Let's take a break.
Okay.
You can switch off there, Andy. Just press red. And then.